Resting might be something that you feel most afraid of doing because you think it is a waste of time, you will fall behind. But actually, it's surprising, especially if you are stressed, what resting can do for you. You see, resting is regulating your nervous system. It is getting into a state where you get out of survival mode. Hi, people. So, resting is actually getting in our receiving mode. Sometimes we think that we need to do more, we need to push harder, but when we actually do the contrary and we take a moment to pause, to rest, we attract in our life new opportunities that correspond to a more relaxed energy. And if we take time while we are resting to elevate our vibration, then the resting also implies that things that are attracted to us match a high vibrational energy. I love coming to the forest for works, and I see people coming with the bike as well. So if you love biking, you can combine it with walks in the forest or in nature in general, because nature has such a beautiful equalizing energy, equilibrating energy. It helps us to be in a high vibrational state. If we were troubled, it helps us to have a more regulated vibration. If we were already vibrating high, then it helps us to have even higher vibration, right? Resting might be something that you feel most afraid of doing because you think it is a waste of time, you will fall behind. But actually, it's surprising, especially if you are stressed, what resting can do for you. You see, resting is regulating your nervous system as well. It is getting into a state where you get out of survival mode. The survival mode is created to help us survive, like its name indicates. But if we are constantly stressed, we are living as if there were constantly a tiger or a danger following us, right? And our body can get in survival mode for a short amount of time, but it's not meant to stay in that stress mode for all the time. So it will stay in that survival mode so that you can escape the predator, or maybe find some place to hide, or maybe get eaten by that predator, but then it's over, right? But when you are constantly in the survival mode but you don't get out of it, it creates all kind of imbalances in your body, in your physiology. So another important thing when you are resting is not just passive resting, right? It is also doing mild exercises like walking or biking, because this helps us strengthen the body as well, balance the nervous system, especially if we go in nature, and balancing your mind. You see, the perception that you have from life will influence the way your physiology is regulated, the way your nervous system is regulated. So if you can have a more balanced perspective on life, it is beneficial to rest your nervous system. And a rested nervous system, a balanced perspective, will attract to you different opportunities than a stress nervous system, a stress state, right? So this is how you will transform the life that you are living, by including more pauses where you can rest. I get it. Sometimes we are so busy that we don't want to stop what we are doing. I'm just on the road here. But really, when we get the courage, it needs some courage to do things differently, right? Because we cannot do things the right way. Do things the same way and expect different results. We need to change something when our way is just stressing us, making us sick. And it is about accepting ourselves also the way we are. It is about going back to that nature of who we actually are before we put on all the personas. Yes, the personas are important to help us to live in this society, right? Sometimes you can feel like, oh, I'm too much and I want to fit in so that I can be in the community, instead of having to put yourself away from the community so that you can be yourself. What about we have an integration where we can do both, right? I'm always for integration. Life is not about punishing one side in favor of the other. It's always about integration, because if those things exist, they have a purpose, right? For example, I tend to be more at ease when I'm on my own, right? And I've been raised in a family where it was okay to be like that. Like my friends were my siblings, and I didn't have friends outside my family. I mean, it was even prohibited to be with other people because we didn't want the influence that bad friends can have, right? But at the same time, it means that I'm not so good at keeping relationships just for the sake of friendships. On the contrary, it can even activate the survivor mode in me, like I'm in danger because can I trust these people? I don't know them. But for my family, for my kids, I'm learning to socialize more because it is part of a beautiful community when you can live in that community, right? So it is a way how I need to create a new personality, a new part of myself who can deal with those kind of things, because my nature will be to be like, no, I don't want anyone to be around me or around my kids, right? But this is hermiting, and it doesn't lead to the best social skills. So those are things that you can learn naturally when you get to be around people constantly, when you get to involve yourself in society. And one of the things that I'm noticing is that it is even part of what can create wealth, how connected you are, right? If you have many people to which you can pitch your new product, then you increase your chances to have a sale. If you have nobody to which to pitch your new product, then you have less chances to make sales, right? And it's the same when you create videos. If you have some people that you can say, hey, here's a video that I created, watch it and tell me what you think, you increase your chances to have more views on your videos. But if you don't have a community, a circle of people to which you can recommend your videos, then you have less views on your videos, right? Even for my own videos, if I publish them and I tell my siblings, hey, I published a new video, go and watch it, it is already a lot more views than if I just publish it and don't say anything to anybody, right? So I'm really grateful for the way I've been brought up, because it's also not so easy to have that ability to be with yourself, right? Especially when you have been conditioned to always look for things to distract yourself. And so it disconnects you from that inner knowing, that intuition, when you are constantly distracting yourself and having noise around you. Everything has its benefits and its drawbacks. The thing is to integrate all those things and to be present, right? Because in some situation, my nature of being focused on the inside will help me to tap easier in my intuition, for example. In other situations, my nature of not being so connected with other people will make it difficult for me to express myself with other people, to say what I want, to behave the right way, to get what I desire. It is about integration. It's about learning also to improve where we want to improve. For example, more and more I feel more at ease for just being myself, even in a group. I am so good at one-on-one because it's like a soul meeting another soul, right? But when it comes to group, I have like, for me, it feels like so many egos coming up and everybody wants to say, okay, I'm the coolest person, right? It's not always the case, but it's just a caricature of what it seems like, right? And so even me, right, I found my ego wanting to jump in and say, yes, I'm also cool and here's why. But yeah, it's part of life, and it's about integrating all those aspects of our life to finally be able to smoothly be yourself and bring up the parts that you want in different situations. I think that is so much more interesting than just choosing one side. Like, I'm an introvert, I'm a hermit, and I never see people, and I'm afraid or ashamed of whatever when I see people. Or the other way around, I'm always out, I need people, I cannot have a second with myself. I don't even like myself to be with myself for any minute. You know, I'm exaggerating because Like someone said, it's when you exaggerate that you can make a point clear. All right, beautiful soul. Talking about what might surprise you when you rest. Here's an example from my own life. I had someone who went to the hospital in urgencies because of some health issues, right? And they wanted to do a small operation on the person. I was busy with it, but I didn't know what to do because it's not in my hand. Those people are experts, right? So I just rested for a few days, and then when I came back to ask for news, guess what happened? Well, the situation of the person stabilizes so that they don't need that operation anymore, and they send the person home, right? And it was like, wow, it is resolved. No operation, no health condition anymore. Everything is okay. But if I am stressing about it, I might be creating more of what I don't want. But I'm not saying that it's always like this, but it's just a confirmation of me resting instead of stressing over a situation on which I have no control anyway, and putting everything in the hands of God, of the universe, and then having an outcome that is beyond what I was imagining. That same period when I was resting, I come back and I check my YouTube and I'm like, one, new subscribers. Maybe it has been, I don't know, 2 months that I haven't got any subscribers, although I'm publishing naturally, right? I mean, consistently. I have learned not to be disturbed by that anymore because it's not just about subscribers, it's also about impact, right? So I come back and I see that one subscriber and like, yes, energy started to move so that it's reflected on the account, like subscriber count. Then I'm grateful for that subscriber. I welcome her and I let it go. Like, don't be attached to the outcome, right? And I continue with my things. Guess what happened the next day? I get 2 more subscribers like that, and I'm like, what is going on? And I remember another time where I got 2 subscribers in the same day, and I was panicking, like, what is happening, my God? So this time, instead of panicking, I stopped myself and remembered, okay, Inès, we are now okay with receiving more and receiving fast, so calm down and just receive it. So I am like, yes, this is my new normal. Yes, this is safe. It is safe for me to receive large amounts of subscribers, right? And in a fast way. Like 2 in a day is not usual for me. It's more like 1 in a blue moon, like 1 every 2 months or something sometimes, right? It's different. And you see, me talking like this is reinforcing that false idea that I don't get subscribers easily. So this is how we get in loops in our head where we say we want something, but actually the way we think, the way we speak is actually saying, actually it's not normal for me to have that amount of subscribers. Anyway, I normalized the receiving of those subscribers, and then I could say, wow, 3 subscribers in less than 2 days. So rest and what happened might surprise you. To be honest, to continue the story is that 2 days later, when I check again, I see one of those subscribers went away, right? And it's also a lesson, like even when things happen the way you want and it happens fast, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's aligned, right? So maybe that person saw that, okay, it's not really what they wanted and they went away. Or maybe the reason why they subscribed was not to stay, but just to get noticed or something, right? So don't let any of that disturb you, and this is why you don't get attached to the outcome, because like we said, life will always have benefits and drawbacks. If you get attached to the benefits, it's how the drawbacks will also make you depressed, right? So instead of seeing that person go and be like, oh my God, why? I was just normal, and in my balanced state, I was like, yes, support and challenges. I'm for the alignment, right? Not only the inner alignment, but also the outer alignment. So, all right, gorgeous, I have another example for you about resting, and then what might happen might surprise you. It is for my creativity. So I was resting, and that is the moment when I got the idea to create a course. And I was like, what, really? Should I create another course? And I remember that actually, yes, because my initial thought, my initial inspiration was to create 10 courses. But because at 7 courses, I haven't had the return that I wanted, I was like, oh no, it's not necessary to continue creating those courses, because first I need to stabilize what I've created, like maybe improve them or promote them more and so stuff like that, or refine them, right? But it's not like that in the intuition way. When you rest, your intuition becomes really strong, so your creativity too. And the course that I'm creating is Embody Your Feminine Energy. It's one thing to know so many things about feminine energy. It's another thing to actually live according to that, right? And so that course is like, it is my embodiment of feminine energy also, and kind of documenting it, not just the documentation, but really acting on it, exemplifying it, right? And today I'm in the forest. I just did my hair as a preparation. I have some bantu knots. That's why I have my hat here. But it's just about being prioritizing, not the outer look, like, okay, my hat doesn't look too chic. Maybe it does. But anyway, the work in nature is so important to connect with that feminine essence, right? And in the forest, nobody is there most of the time. Sometimes you can meet other people walking with their dog or some bikers, but most of the time it's just you and the trees. I love that. And I love meeting people too. I mean, it's a balance, right? The integration, like we said. Okay, so it is more a priority to be here, even though my hair is in a protective style, and to be embodying that feminine energy by soaking in the energy of nature. It's like I don't need to do anything, and I'm already in my feminine energy. One crazy thing that I love to do is to hug trees. This is my favorite tree. It's so huge, it's this big. And I love to hug it. It's so grounding, it's so calming, it's so regulating of your nervous system. I know it seems crazy, but it's not crazy. It's actually returning to our nature. It's returning to who we really are, our natural state before the civilization, right? Which is beautiful, and nature also is beautiful. Oh my God, this is a white feather. So beautiful. Look at that, fluffy white feather. I think this is a good omen. Do you know anything about white feather? White feathers? It's beautiful. I'll keep it. I am creating a course called Embody Your Feminine Energy. I would love for you to tell me, if you were taking a cup of tea with me, what are the 2 most important questions that are burning you to ask me about embodying your feminine energy? All right, gorgeous. If you feel called to finally have that emotional stability and to lead yourself from within in order to attract with ease, then Embody Your Feminine Energy is for you. I put everything below. Until next time, stay very inspired. I love you.